Too late, I find I'm caught up in your undertow. Well, I'm knee deep in loving you. I done got deeper than I wanted to. It'll probably drown me before I'm through. But I done got knee deep in loving you.
Everybody saying you're not for staying kind. Ain't it like a natural fool to think you will this time? It's too late for changing this feeling down in me. I'm standing here with more than just sand on my feet.
'Cause I'm knee deep in loving you. I done got deeper than I wanted to. It'll probably drown me before I'm through. But I done got knee deep in loving you. 'Cause I'm knee deep in loving you. I done got deeper than I wanted to. It'll probably drown me before I'm through. But I done got knee deep in loving you. Well, I'm knee deep in loving you. I done got deeper than I wanted to. It'll probably drown me before I'm through. But I done got knee deep in loving you. Knee deep in loving you.
All right, that was Miss Chelsea Van, April de Torive, and Karen Myers singing for you this morning. And we're so happy that they were able to reprise something that we just sang last weekend at the Carnival Colossal. And now it's your turn to sing and join us on our first sing-along song, which is Let's Get Together.
Love is but a song we sing, and here's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Know that love is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
All right, I'd like to introduce our musicians this morning. We have our fabulous band, Ed Cusby on guitar, Bill Dixon on bass, David Page on drums. Our song leaders this morning are the wonderful Karen Allen and Rick Dale. And our featured musical people this morning is the Jules Tone Choir. Yay! I'm Diane King-Van over here at the keys, and I'd like you to please stand and join us on another sing-along song called I Love Myself the Way I Am.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are.
And now it's time to meet and greet your neighbors. Go say hello, howdy, how are you? And get ready because it's time to sing another verse.
I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow by loving everything. Everybody sing. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. The change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
All right, everybody, welcome. Sit down. Actually, you get to sing for 10 more minutes. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah. All right. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. I'm Arpad Petros. I'm a staff minister here, and you are welcome. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome. But I want you to know that this is your home. This is your spiritual home. And in this home, whatever you need, direction, you need support, we can provide it. You need tools to change your life, to change your thinking, to change your consciousness. Yeah, do we have that? Welcome. Get us started this morning. We're going to start. Excuse me. Slow down. We're going to start with the flames of faith. We do that because, it recognizes that there is God everywhere, all the time, every place, every corner of the world. Perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life. Acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the path of harmony, equilibrium, in a natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by a sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, like Christ consciousness, the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance, but the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As Reverend Bruce lights that last candle, let it represent that path that brought you. You would stay in that context and just close your eyes. I mean a prayer, an affirmation, a centering. Way shutting down your mind just for a little bit of time. The Spirit can speak. Know with me that there is one love, there is one consciousness, there's one thing in this universe that binds us together. There's no other. It is through love that we find grace. It is through love. It's through love that we find the compassion, the humanity in all things. Through love that we make a difference. Thinking, change, humanity, change, everything. Believe in God. Perfection. This morning, as we say, yes, Lord, thank you, God. Thank you for the opportunity. This morning, we get to celebrate. Into the universe is whole. So it is. So it is. And it's also time to make it work. Okay?
Spirit in me, as me, is me. I am as God created me, a divine being imbued with boundless God attributes. And so it is. Spirit in, as me, is me. I am as God created me, a divine being imbued with boundless God attributes. And so it is.
Thank you, Tony. I'd like to please welcome our Jewel Tones Choir. We have a lot of maneuvering that we need to do, so we're going to start the band off with an intro here. This first song is called Oye la Música, and it's a very little bit of Spanish, which you will get the translation as we go.
I hear the rhythm of life in music. I hear the rhythm of life in song. I know the rhythm of life is beating because the rhythm of life is strong.
I feel the rhythm of life around me because the rhythm is everywhere. I know the rhythm of life is growing because the music is everywhere.
And in the street I hear music, percussion and sounds. It is the life of the rhythm that turns the beat around. I hear the rhythm of life in music. I hear the rhythm of life in song. I know the rhythm of life is beating because the rhythm of life is strong. Oh yeah, la musica, the rhythm of life. Oh yeah, la musica, the rhythm of life. Oye la música de la vida, oye la vida en la canción, porque la música es el ritmo, porque la música es vida.
Porque la música de la vida, porque la música es el ritmo, porque la música es vida.
Oh yeah, la música, the rhythm of life. I hear the rhythm of life in music. I hear the rhythm of life in song. I know the rhythm of life is beating because the rhythm of life is strong. I feel the rhythm of life around me because the rhythm is everywhere. I know the music of life is growing because the music is everywhere. The rhythm of life. The rhythm de la vida. The rhythm of life is music. The rhythm of life, la vida.
Heather Dawn Clark.
Thank you. And thank you, Jewel Tones Choir. It's so wonderful to hear you, and what an uplifting piece to start with. I saw people dancing while you were rehearsing, and even while you're singing, the feet are tapping. Way back in February, we have a benefactor, and you hardly ever see her, but I was thinking about this as we were on our way here, and she's already given us over $1 million and has a promise to give us another probably about another million. So we're very, very blessed. She asked me in February if she could please speak today. And I said, of course, Faith, you can do whatever you want. I knew it would be appropriate. Anyway, because she had surgery a few weeks ago, she wasn't able to come, but she gave me something that she asked me to read. She's a very patriotic person, and she wants to encourage everyone to vote. That's all, not who to vote for, but to vote. And she, her mom knew Emma Lazarus. And Emma Lazarus is the poet who wrote a piece that is on the Statue of Liberty. And she wrote it to raise money for the construction of the pedestal. In 1903, the poem was engraved on a bronze plaque and mounted inside the pedestal's lower level. The title of the poem, first of all, it's called The New Colossus. And you need to know that the original Colossus is one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Colossus of Rhodes. And it was the tallest structure. I believe it was 98 feet high, or meters. Anyway, it was lower than the Statue of Liberty is. And it only lasted 50 years. And then there was an earthquake and it fell into the harbor. But the poem talks about the millions of immigrants who came to the United States, many through Ellis Island at the port of New York. I know that my great-grandparents on my grandfather's side came through there. The air-bridged harbor of the Twin Cities frame refers to New York Harbor between New York City and Brooklyn, which were consolidated into one unit in 1898, 15 years after the poem. And this is the poem. The new Colossus, not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that Twin Cities frame. In quotes, keep ancient lands, you storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tops, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. And she asked that we put it on the screen, so I'm sure pleased her very much. It's a beautiful poem. It's a good reminder that we are welcoming, and it fits right in with my message, because the message is one self-existent, indestructible, and indivisible cause, which comes from our Declaration of Principle. One self-existent, indivisible, and indestructible cause. Wow. What could be indivisible, indestructible, and self-existent? When you look up self-existent, the first thing that comes up is, of course, that's God. It can be no other. But the first things that come up are an old idea of God, not our idea. The idea that this thing is completely separate, has its own abilities, its own ways of being, whereas what we believe is that self-existent cause is right here. It's in you. That self-existent cause is the creator of all things. And it reminds me of a story. So I'll start with this story. There was a tigress who was injured, and she gave birth to her cub, and then she died. But there was a flock of goats nearby, and animals do this. They adopted the baby tiger. They adopted the tiger, looked after the tiger, nourished the tiger, and the tiger grew up thinking it was a goat. So it was a vegetarian, right? It did what goats did. And it bleated, rah, rah. So one day, a full-grown male tiger came, and with his mighty roar, scared away all of the goats. But something within that little tiger recognized something and didn't run away. And the tiger took this little baby with him. He said, "This is terrible. Here's some gazelle. You have some." And I can't eat that. I'm a vegetarian. Well, go ahead and try it. He nudged him toward the meat. And the little tiger took a tiny bite. He choked on it. But something within him awakened, and he let out a little roar. Just a little roar. Now let's help that little tiger. I want on the count of 3, we're going to roar together. 1, 2, 3. Arr! That mighty roar. So that's that self-existent cause in us. Sometimes we can only take a bite at a time. We can only swallow a little bit of it because we don't understand it. We get it as much as we can, and then the roar grows. the recognition of our true self grows. And if you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. That recognition that you are greater than your experiences, you're greater than your childhood, you are not your roles, you are not your name, you are definitely not your ages. You are that self-existent first cause to all creation. It's right in you. It is your essence. It's the truth of you. And when you awaken to that, everything is possible. Ernest Holmes has lots to say about this. This is from the Declaration of Principles. And I just want to say some of the things that I've noticed. First of all, many of you and many guests came Friday night to the Paper Tigers. Isn't that great? Paper Tigers. And then I talked about the Baby Tiger. Paper Tigers movie on Friday night. And in that movie, we were reminded that when one has adverse childhood experiences, and when you have a number of them, that there's going to be, you're going to have a tendency, because your brain isn't fully developed, you're going to have a tendency toward emotional, erratic behavior. So that's from the physiological point of view. But the metaphysical point of view is you're not your brain. You've never been your brain. You're greater than your brain. You're greater than your traumatized brain. You are that presence, that power that is God. So I'm so glad you came, because who it says we are is compassion. That we come so that we can be here together and be compassionate for people that don't know and haven't awakened and don't believe that they can awaken. But one of the things in the movie that I noticed, and Reverend Arpad used it in his prayer, is who we really are is love, because love is the nature of this divine presence. And what I noticed in the movie, that the teachers of those kids that had those special needs kids with the brain in the poorly developed brain, every single one of the teachers said to the child, "I love you." These are teenagers. This were 11th and 12th grade kids. Teachers were saying, "I love you." It's kind of uncommon for that to be so. And yet, there was a responsiveness, because just like that little tiger recognized his real self, the kids recognized that was a genuine gift of love. And then yesterday we were at a memorial service. I officiated for Nestor Espana, Cheryl Espana's husband, and they're a very unusual family in that there's every religion, and he was Jewish, she was New Thought, and their children are all sorts of other different things, including Orthodox Jew, including Catholic, including born-again Christian. So it was a whole thank you. Wasn't the word I was thinking, but works well. It's smorgasbord. But here's what they said to me. What the children said was, the people of your center are so nice. They're so kind. They're so compassionate. They're so friendly. And of course, I puffed up. But it isn't about me. It's about you. When you awaken to who you are, that's who you are in the world. That's who you are. That's what other people see you to be. And I was so grateful to have that feedback. What they were seeing is someone who is comfortable mixing, mingling, saying hello to, being with. So this self-existent cause that you are. Let me share with you some of what Ernest had to say about this. This was put together by Trish Hall, Minister Trish Hall, and I believe she's somewhere in the Washington, D.C. area, but I didn't have her exact location. So Ernest says, in Love and Law, he said, everything is of the one ultimate substance. All substance is as indestructible as God, for it is all God. God's center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere. So here's the question for us. If we're made of God's stuff, everything we know to be is expression of this one and only cause. There's no other substance from which anything is created or made, and we're all of the same substance. So the question is, if you really believe that you, like your Creator, are made of indestructible God stuff, would you place a greater value on your intuition? Would you place a greater value on your intuition? Everything is made of this indestructible God stuff. Would you open to a wider array of possibilities? In other words, would you look further than your past or your current situations? In Living Without Fear, Ernest Holmes declared, God, the universal life force and energy running through everything, is an intelligent presence pervading all space, a beginningless and endless eternity of eternities, of self-existent cause, of perfect limit and complete wholeness. The attributes that we associate with our divine Creator are therefore instilled in us individually and collectively. Ultimately, we have no beginning and no end. I've said before, well, if we're eternal beings, one of the things I say in most memorial services is that nothing dies but the human body. The being continues in the next plane, but death is the kind way that the universe has of getting rid of something that no longer serves us for the purposes for which it was made. Something that no longer serves us. So we are made in the image and likeness of our divine Creator. And as such, we bear within us all the attributes of our Creator. We know that the expression of the divine, nothing can ultimately harm or diminish us. And when you awaken to the awareness that nothing can harm you or diminish you, you lose all fear. You lose all fear. And as someone said, I think Churchill, but it could have been someone else too, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Because when we live in fear, it controls us. And we make choices that aren't in our highest and best good, made out of fear. When we're really being called to live out of our greatness, our consciousness, our goodness, our love, our kindness, our compassion, using our intuition, using our awareness of that self-existent cause within. They say it's difficult for us, it's difficult for people to grasp the absolute. But I've just given you quite a few minutes of a lesson that's all about the absolute. And all you have to remember is the roar of the tiger is already within you. All you need to remember is that you're made of the stuff, but who you really are is this magnificent being. I heard long ago, and I really liked it, that the mantra of planet Earth is really not Om or Om Namah Shivaya. It's really It's really sleep. It's really sleep. We're asleep to our magnificence. This is the time to wake up right here, right now. Put your hand on your heart. Feel your heart beating. And say after me, I am awake to my magnificence. I'm awake to the divine within me. That one indivisible first cause is in me, and so it is. All right, that's so it is. Thank you, thank you. Let's take that awareness of our powerfulness into prayer. Let's take that awareness of that self-existent source into prayer. And I'll speak it in the first person, but for everyone. And I'll speak it for the wholeness, for our physical well-being. I'll speak it for us living with confidence and love. I'll speak it for prosperity and for that creative impulse within each one. And for all knowingness for exams. Okay.
Opening to your love, I am opening to your love. I'm opening to your love. Opening to your love. In your heart, if in your arms. Heart, in your arms. I'm opening to your love. I'm opening to your love.
In this holy moment of now, truly open to the love that God is in me, as me, truly aware that God's presence, God's grace, God's goodness is all there is. Awakened to the awareness that I am one with that first cause to all creation, that I am one with that self-existence, that I am one to that indivisibleness that is the presence and power of the divine. I confidently and lovingly speak my word, for I know it is a word of truth. I speak it for each one who accepts it. And this is what I know. I know that I am the wholeness of the beloved, that my body is not only the temple of the living God, it's the expression of the divine. Whole, complete, and perfect in every way. I declare and know that every system is in perfect harmony with everything else, that is perfect harmony within itself. All of the tissues, the organs, the cells are in perfect harmony. This system that is the body of me, in my physical body and in the body of my affairs, is perfect because it's God's body. So what I know is perfect health, radiant health, vital health, an experience of perfection at every age and at every point of time, flexibility, strength, and wonderful power. What I know and speak this word for the connection of person to person, for that connection that is love to love. It's the awakened consciousness within me and the awakening consciousness within all others. I simply love. I see everyone as part of that friendly universe that is that in which I live and move and have my being. It is the good of God, the greatness of God. I speak this word for the creative expression that brings joy to everyone, that is the gift of the Spirit from within out and is the gift to humanity. So no matter what that creative expression is, what I know is new ideas are coming to me right now, ideas that bless and prosper, that enliven and inspire, that transform. I know that this is already the truth, for I am that spiritual being right now, already one with all of the geniuses that have ever lived. And what's more, I know that I am that prospering power that God is, and that my life is abundant, for I'm blessed with the substance and supply of the divine. I use it intelligently. I speak this word for intelligent thinking, for clear knowing, for connection and letting go of what doesn't work, letting go of grudges and judgments. And any place where I think it isn't working, it's all working. And it's working for good and greater good. I give great thanks that this is so. I'm so very grateful. I'm grateful for knowing what I know. I'm grateful for that infinite becoming that is true of each one of us. And with my heart filled with gratitude, I simply place this word in law. I know that it's complete, and please help me anchor it by saying with me, and so it is. So it is. And
Thank you so much, Reverend Heather. And please welcome back the Jewel Tones Choir. As we get set up here for our next piece, this is called How Can I Keep From Singing? It's a beautiful thought. I think expresses exactly what our choir does, which is serving our center, serving our community with their voices, making music, that joy of the divine. Be able to express God through our way. All right.
My life goes on in endless song, a song of exultation. I hear the sound so clear and strong that hails a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love rules all of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? There may be troubles in this life, but I hear music ringing. It sounds and echoes in my soul. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love rules all of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Though the storm around me roars, I hear the truth it's bringing. And with the light around me close,
Songs in the night.
songs in the night, songs in the night, the night are ringing. Those storms can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love rules all of heaven and earth. How can I keep, how can I keep, how can I keep from singing, from singing?
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our guest pianist this morning is Mr. Jimmy Van Man. He's sneaking away from choir to help us out playing.
It's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes, and our offerings. And as you, the stewards, are coming forward, I have something else to say that could have gone in my talk because it was right on topic. Next week, we're going to be doing something fantastic. You want to be here. We're going to be doing it starting in the service and then plan to stay for at least an hour afterwards. It's going to be such a great experience. And you can be thinking about how you have been blessed and prospered by being part of this center, and we'll use those answers as part of what we're doing. So now, if you take your, and there'll be lunch, but after the process. I'm not going to feed you before. Okay. Please repeat after me. Divine mind in me. Blesses and multiplies. All that I am, all that I have, and all that I give. I give with love, and I love to give. And so it is.
Special treat here, the Seven Bridges Road. This is the Eagles with Linda Ronstadt today. So we've got Chelsea Van over there singing our second tenor line, Rick Dale on those wonderful high soaring notes on guitar, Dave Friedman on the low notes on guitar, Harry and Jimmy on baritone line, and we need that mic up, Josh, for Harry. There it is. It's alive. It's alive. All right. You guys ready? This is just them.
There are stars in the southern sky, southward as you go. There is moonlight and moss in the trees, down the seven bridges road. Now I have loved you like a baby, and like some lonesome child. same way. And I have loved you while. Sometimes there's a part of me has to turn from here and go. Running like a child from these warm stars down the 7 bridges road. There are stars in the southern sky. And if ever you decide you should go, there is a taste of time, sweet and honey, down the 7 bridges road.
We are so darn lucky. That's all I can say. And we're going to get those kidlets in here.